Hi everyone, it's Stella, and today I have a very special guest with me, Dr. Morwenna Kirwan, and I said that wrong because I always hear you say it in your beautiful Australian accent. uh, so, Morwenna, I'm going to refer to you as Morwenna because I don't ever call you.
That's my name. Yeah.
So we initially met because she became a client of mine, and let me tell you a little bit about her journey. So Morwenna has a master's in psychology, a PhD in health behavior change, and until recently, she was a tenured professor at a university in Sydney, Australia. She's also, her credentials go on and on, a certified health and eating psychology coach, and she's presented PhD research at Harvard Medical School and won an award for the most impactful and innovative research. She's been featured across numerous health and fitness magazines, including Good Health, Fit Pro Network, and many, many more. She is a trainer of trainers, if you will, and in the work that we did, like Morwenna came to me after having her child and realizing that even though her work was so prestigious, it didn't feel like she was making a meaningful impact. And when you have a new baby and you don't have a lot of time and you don't feel like you're making enough impact, like something's got to change because you have limited resources. So we worked together and got her on her current path, which is purely focused on coaching and really helping transform people's lives through their bodies. So I am so excited to have her on. And a big reason why I'm having her on, usually don't talk about health and like your physical body. I usually don't talk about that. But what's been really interesting is that when people book time to talk with me, I always ask them a few questions in advance. And one of the questions I ask, well, is there anything else in addition to these challenges you've named that's bothering you? And I would say 8 out of 10 people say, I'm, dealing with extra pounds, and that bothers them, and it takes up a lot of mental space for them. So I know it does for me too. And so what I love about Morwenna's approach is that it's very similar in my approach in that it's from a positive psychology perspective and a behavioral change perspective. And it's, we're going to talk about it. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump right in. So by the way, I read all of Morwenna's newsletters because they're chock full of fascinating research and are really truthful. And one of them was about perfectionism. And that really hit a chord with me because it was all about how perfectionism can get in your way. And I am guilty of that. So can you talk to us? Because I have a feeling that I'm not the only one here who is a perfectionist, and that many of my people in my community are overachievers and perfectionists. So how might that get in the way of someone loving their body and being healthy and fit in the way that they want?
Well, firstly, I have to put my hand up and say I'm a recovering perfectionist as well. So I totally relate to this challenge, and it does get in the way. And in our society, we're very much encouraged to have that really high level of expectations and standards for ourselves. And in many ways, we really feel that it serves us, and in many ways it has. But when it comes to looking after your health and making healthy choices in what you eat, for example, or trying to lose weight, we have this tendency to have such high standards that it's an all or nothing approach. Which is unfortunate because then we're either on or we're off. And so, for example, I have some coaching clients, for example, and they a little bit perfectionistic and they go on a diet. And what often happens is they're sticking to their plan and they're on it, they're 100% committed, and then they eat just one wrong food, and it might be just a cookie. And that cookie can just start this negative spiral going, well, I've broken my diet now. And
Yeah.
in psychology, we call that the what the hell effect, where you just go, oh, what the hell? I'll start again on Monday.
I mean, this is literally my life this week because I was going to go to the gym 3 times this week, and my daughter woke up like in the middle of the night, and I was so tired and I had to sleep in the morning, and I didn't go. And then it was like, what the hell? You know what? I'll just work tomorrow morning too so I can get some stuff done. And there goes a week where I didn't like really work out as planned. So what do you suggest when that happens?
Well, firstly, it's knowing that it can happen. Like life gets in the way and we can't expect ourselves to be perfect. So we do need to step back and be kind to ourselves in that moment and understanding. And that can help stop as much of a negative spiral, because often when we're really hard on ourselves, we feel really bad. And to make ourselves feel better, we often engage in those behaviors that we're trying to avoid. So in terms of exercising, in your example, maybe then you put it off even further because you feel so bad, you want to go procrastinate by watching Netflix or
Yes,
avoiding it all.
exactly what I did.
So every day is an opportunity to start again.
Yeah.
Every day is a new day, and we don't even have to wait until Monday, for example, to start eating healthier. If we've broken the diet on the Friday, we can start the next day. We can wake up and go, I'm going to start again. Small little changes is really the key.
I love that. And that really translates so well into when it comes to people looking for their dream job or trying to learn a new skill or trying to step into a greater capacity for leadership. You know, you can have one bad meeting and then just say, fuck it, what the hell? I'm not going to do this. And you could just look at it as like, well, that was just one bad meeting. You know, let me see what I can do, you know, tomorrow or later today, or it could all turn around. So I love that insight, and it has given me much comfort as I have battled with my workout schedule. So thank you. And you also talk about several other kind of mind traps when it comes to losing weight. And one of them I really love because, again, there's a direct connection between, you know, losing weight or finding your dream job or any big goal you want to achieve. And it's called the false hope syndrome. So talk to us about what that means, the false hope syndrome.
Well, I was actually writing about this just recently because we've just had New Year's, and I know it's February already, which is crazy. But the whole idea is that we make these big, audacious goals after, you know, coming into the new year. And the false hope syndrome in psychology, it tells us that we consistently underestimate what is required to actually make that change. And we underestimate how difficult it's actually going to be and how much energy is required to go into making that. And I think the take-home message a lot with that is we need support.
Yes.
We just go it alone and we think for some reason this time it's going to be different. I'm not going to be as busy. I'm not going to be as stressed. I'm not going to be as exhausted. Somehow I'm going to reach this goal, whether it's a health goal or a work-related goal. And so I know in my work with my clients it's constantly bringing it back to we need more support. We need to break it down into achievable parts so it's not overwhelming.
Yeah.
And we need to not count on willpower.
Yeah. So that is really key. So, and just to kind of also connect the dots with when it comes to creating a change at work and setting really big goals, because so many people talk to me all the time and they're like, you know, I'm really feeling ready to start something new or go into a new direction. And then I talk to them, I'm like, okay, great. And then a year goes by and I'm on the phone again with them and nothing's changed. And it's because they didn't, it's natural. Life gets in the way. And this is, even though it could be simple, it is not easy. And your insight around, we underestimate the amount of energy, because it's very easy to write a plan that's pretty straightforward and know all the logical steps you need to take. But to get in the mental zone, to be emotionally resilient, and to just, sit with the discomfort and tension of uncertainty and what's going to happen and how you're actually going to achieve, that requires an immense amount of energy. So just kind of making the decision and like willing your way through it, you're saying is really tough to do. And a lot of us kind of end up over relying on our willpower. So talk to us about that, because that's a juicy one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, firstly, just to let you and all your listeners know what happens when we first do make that decision that we're going to make the change, we get this awesome feeling of optimism and excitement that, yeah, we've decided.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can actually stop us from taking action because we just feel so good.
Yeah.
And we can, we've all done this. It's a very funny human phenomenon that we do. But the other one, that mind trap you mentioned about willpower, is massive, because we consistently, once again, overestimate how much willpower we are going to have in the future. And what people don't always know is that willpower is very influenced and impaired. Our capacity for self-control is impaired by stress. It's impaired by tiredness and exhaustion. It's impaired by poor diet. Can actually make it even more difficult to have willpower.
Right.
Because your blood sugar dips and it's hard to make good decisions when you're hungry. So it's very fickle, willpower, and it's really easily undermined by just emotions that happen during the day. So counting on it is not a good strategy. We actually want to focus more on cultivating habits that can help us move towards our goals.
So let's just kind of let's give an example of how people count on their willpower. Like, what does that really mean? Because I know what you mean, but like, what does it mean when we count on our willpower to, let's say, lose weight or achieve a new career goal or find a new partner in life or whatever it is?
Okay, so let's take for the example that someone wants to lose weight and they want to go on a diet. And so they might read about a new diet and they'll get the whole diet plan and they're excited and they're ready. And on Monday it starts and they know what they need to eat. And when I ask my clients, what's your strategy for when there is temptation around? They're like, I'm just going to use my willpower. Like, I'm just not going to eat it. Yeah. It's just that simple. And what we need to understand is if our willpower is drained by other events, everyday activities in our life, we're possibly going to get to that afternoon little dip in energy that we have where we start looking for more caffeine and sugar to perk us up. And it's in those moments that our brain is not going to go, you know what, that's not a good decision. Yeah. And instead, we're going to give in.
Yes.
And it's because we expect our willpower to really back us up. And our willpower gets drained as the day progresses. Just like your phone battery gets drained as the day goes on and you have to plug it in at night and actually charge it, which is what sleep does for our willpower. So in this instance, we need to actually have thought about strategies and planned ahead for those times when we are going to be tempted by eating the wrong things. And that's a much more effective way to approach losing weight than just deciding that, you know what, this time will somehow be different than the 10 other times that I've dieted. And I'm going to have more willpower this time, even though I still have the same stresses in my life and I'm still got so much happening. we just are so optimistic at times and then so disappointed in ourselves later on.
Yes. Is this why, when we're dieting, we have like an even shorter temper? Right? Because like we're like using up all our willpower to not have chocolate cake or to resist. And then like someone comes around and they just annoy the heck out of you and you just don't have it in you to just stay calm, right? And you just or it could be, your sugar levels bouncing around. But that could be a good explanation, right? For why we it's hard to do. And that's why they say not to change too many things at once, right? Because we have
Absolutely
finite willpower. So talk to us about, okay, you started to say that's why good habits are so important. So, okay, so what do I do? Yeah, what do we do with that? How do I good habit? I know that. I know it's about habits, and I even circle the dates when I'm going to go to the gym, but help me like make that real.
Okay, so you're creating a new habit of exercising at certain times.
Yeah.
And you have very good intentions for going.
Yeah.
And you have a set time to go. You always remember that you're going, I take it, but things get in the way.
Well, for me, so here's this, I actually wrote about this commitment. I wrote about this with regards to taking my daughter to school. So I'm aware of my problem. I just haven't applied it to working out. I'm still giving myself wiggle room. Oh, maybe I'll do the 9:45 class, or maybe I'll make the 8:30. And then that flexibility kills it. So I just need to pick one, right?
You need to pre-commit. You need to, pre-commit and somehow make yourself accountable to that time. So rather than giving yourself those two choices where then you don't even make a choice, or sometimes you forgo either, you need to select one, maybe just for the week so that you don't feel like you can't choose the other class. Yeah. But just for 1 week, commit to that one time slot and come back to the idea that I'm the type of person that follows through with my commitments, and I'm committed to that 8:45 class.
Yes, I like that. So you just walked me through, I know, a strategy that you've talked about, because I love reading your stuff. So tell us about that strategy, because you just like slipped it right in there, but I want you to spell it out for everyone, because that's like genius.
Well, one of the strategies for wanting to make a change in your health is to start to see yourself as that type of person, because often we sort of have two minds about these things. We want to be the type of person that gets up and goes for a run in the morning. We want to go running. We want to get fit. We want to be that type of person. But there's another part of our brain that goes, nah, you're not that type of person. You're the person that gets up and sits on the couch and watches some Seinfeld episodes. So we want to start being able to make little small wins every day that reinforce this type of person. If you want to consider yourself, I'm a healthy type of person, I choose health for myself, then every day you just need to have some small little actions that you can go, I ate salad with my lunch. I'm just the type of person that eats vegetables.
Yeah. I'm feeling this, like I'm feeling this. This is going right in. This is great. And you actually are inspiring me to add on a step to what I do with clients around their values, because one of the things that we do is to create a shift and transformation in your work experience is to define your values and then be accountable and ask yourself questions every day. How did I express my creativity today? Or how did I... But now I'm thinking maybe it's better, or not better, in addition to, we'll experiment, to write an affirmation as to how you live that value and read it. And then ask yourself, how did I show up as this person today? So
I think that's an excellent
I love
suggestion. That. In addition, I think that would really help, because we want to shift our sense of identity.
Yes.
Of who we are. Yeah.
So I think this is a great tip for everyone, just to take a moment and write down, what kind of person do you want to be? And then say, well, if I'm this person, what kind of choices am I going to be making? Right? I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
It's a
so much
great
more
activity.
inspiring rather than, give into the other mindset or other voice. So that is awesome. I love that. So is there anything else that, because we covered some pretty juicy mind traps around what kind of keeps us stuck when we're trying to lose weight and or anything else. Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, I just want everyone to be aware that there is a trap that we fall into once we make progress.
Oh,
Once we start making progress on our goal, let's say, for example, you're going to the gym and you are actually being consistent and you're going 3 times a week and you've pre-committed to that class and you're walking around strutting it going, I'm just the type of person, I'm a fit type of person,
yeah.
I'm committed, I
Yeah.
do what I say I'm going to do. And then one day this little light bulb goes off in your head and goes, I've been so good. I'm going to go and reward myself because I've been so good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip the gym today and I'm going to go to the movies instead. And in psychology, we call this moral licensing, where after a while, when we make progress, we start to feel so good and we consider ourselves, I'm a good person for doing this.
Yeah.
I deserve to be bad. I deserve to be the rebel.
I totally
And
do that. I totally do that.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
And it's a trap that we fall into. The minute we start making progress, we start, I don't know, the brain liberates itself and goes, well, I've made progress on that goal. Let me do what I really want to do, which is go shopping instead.
Yeah.
So, one of the ways I coach my clients through that, and this is a trap for you to look out for, Stella, because I know now you're committing to this, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you accountable. I'm gonna check on
Yeah.
you
I
about this.
Okay, now everyone knows. So I'm gonna like send this out, and by the time I send it out, I will have gone to an exercise class. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And it's just being aware that at some stage your brain is going to go, I shouldn't go to the gym. I don't need to go to the gym. I've already done that heaps. Let me go do what I really want to do. And it's in that moment you need to catch yourself. And what I recommend to my clients is to say to themselves, why was I going to the gym? Because I was really committed to a bigger goal
Yeah.
of being the type of person that's fit.
Yes. Exactly. 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 And that's, I mean, it's so good. I mean, I'm getting back my own stuff here, and it's so good and so painful because you just have to do it. And but I'm so grateful to hear this. This is really, I mean, personally, I'm so grateful we're having this call right now because it's reinforcing my commitment. But I would ask, you guys out there, how might you be falling into any of these traps, whether it's that perfectionism, saying like, oh, what the hell, I already ate some apple pie today, so fuck the gym, I'm gonna go out for drinks, right? Or maybe it's, I'm gonna go out for drinks, and on Monday I'm gonna start my diet. And that's what we call the false hope syndrome. So think about any big goal that you're, maybe getting ready to embark on. It does feel really good to be optimistic, and that can be seductive and be just enough kind of motivation for us to just, that's enough, and then you don't end up doing it, right? So so I know that I see this for many folks, not just around body. I don't really talk to them too much about their bodies, but I see them do this around their career choices. And then the third thing that we talked about that I also am guilty of is the moral licensing. So being giving myself permission to be bad after being so, so good. So, so those are all such juicy insights. And I hope that they've really helped you guys think about your behavior a little differently. And so I just like you to take a moment and identify, what kind of person do you want to be when it comes to your health and well-being and or to your work? And write that down. Describe that person. And put it on a Post-it note, put it on your phone as a screensaver. And then when you see that, I want you to send me some, emails. Has that changed your behavior? How's it going to change your behavior this week? We're just going to start with 1 week. I'm going to do it too. And we'll see what happens. So with that, I'm so grateful for your taking the time to share. And you have so much good stuff. And I begged Morwenna to give us some more goodies because I know we can't talk forever, and I could talk to her forever. But I begged her to put something together for you guys, especially because, again, like so many people are like, yeah, work sucks, and I'm like 10 pounds overweight. So for those of you who need some help kicking that weight once and for all, right? And loving your body through it, not just like going on a diet and losing weight and then being back and forth. But this is kind of that mindful, healthy, integrated way of approaching body and weight loss. I've asked Morwenna to put something together, and she's offering a free training for you guys. So can you tell them about it? It's so good.
Yeah, the free training is an online webinar where I explain the 3 major steps that you need to take if you want to lose weight, be happier in your body, and transform your relationship with food.
Yeah, that is good. And I mean, it's for people who, because we have such limited willpower. And if so much of the time you're thinking about food and like how you're being bad or good or how you shouldn't make this decision, it's like, it's taking you out of the game of your life, right? Like you can't really be present with your family at the dinner table because you're thinking about food, or you're just thinking about the next time you're going to eat. So that just takes away from your general life satisfaction and happiness. So if we could resolve that, it would just create so much more capacity to be present, I feel, and it's so important. And I really battled with my relationship with food when I was at a much younger age. Like I started battling with it when I was probably 7 years old. I was like counting calories and jumping jump rope, and I feel like, thank God, I've resolved that. But it really, I was really obsessed, and I know what that can feel like to live with that. And it's such a burden. So I'm so grateful for the value that you're offering folks who are also just haven't quite figured out that way to lose weight, keep it off, and just love themselves through it. So thank you very much. I'm going to share that link in the email when I send out this interview. But on that note, anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
Well, just one final note. You mentioned a little bit ago that, you just need to just do it. And what I want everyone to take away from this is that's a great slogan, and Nike is amazing to come up with that one. But really the key is just get started.
Oh, that's so much better. I love that. Thank you. That is so good. On that note, I hear my daughter just walked in, so she may run in any moment. So maybe we should wrap up. But thank you so much for coming. And oh, that's her. I'm going to wrap it up now, but this was so valuable, and I'll send you guys all the details. Thank you. Bye, Morwenna.
Bye, Stella. Thanks.